Good morning, Ruby citizens, and happy Saturday. The weekend is officially here. So I want you all to get up, get out, do what you have to do so you can get back and just relax the rest of the day. Now, I don't know about you, but in the DMV area, we are going to have beautiful fall-like weather. It's going to be in the 80s. Right now, it's only 80 degrees. I'm in Studio B only because the way the sun beats down into my window, I don't want it to overheat my phone and have to start all over again. So I said, I tried to get up before the sun was fully up, but it just didn't work out that way. Anyhow, today's going to be a great day, you guys. I always wake up every day and I say, no matter what, today's going to be a great day. So I want you to think the same way. And go out there and really have a great day. Now, before, I thought it was something I wanted to tell you. I guess it is not. So we're going to jump into today's topic, which is stop settling for less than you deserve. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I need you to stop settling for less than you deserve. You don't have to play small. You deserve better than that. And if you have to play small to make somebody else happy, then guess what? You don't need them in your life. You really don't. I know what I was going to tell you. This bush right here that you all can see out this window, that's what I'm going to do today. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to upload it. Make me a bowl of cream of wheat because that's what I woke up wanting this morning. And I need to get this bush trimmed back. There's another bush on the other end of the yard. It's getting tall. And I love that bush. I'm not even sure where the heck it came from. Doesn't even matter. But I like it because I can string my lights around it during the holiday season. But it's getting a little tall. And what happens is it has these prickly things on the end that hurt really bad when they scratch your skin up. So I try to keep it pruned back because I don't want it to get all big and out of control. Because like I said, I have no idea where it even came from. And then on the side of the house, you all can't see that one because it's the back part of the truck is blocking it. But that bush has gotten a little bit taller than the window, or almost anyway. So I need to trim that all the way back. So this is perfect weather for me to do that, and I'm going to take advantage of it. Oh, and then my mom and my sister and I, we're going to take a trip to Walmart, which is always exciting because you see some interesting things in Walmart. And I'm not talking about the merchandise on the shelf. Anyway, let's move in. So here's some ways that you can start to stop settling for less than you deserve. And let's jump right on in. Number one, stop making excuses for poor behavior. Let me look over top of my glasses. Did you hear what I said? Stop making excuses for poor behavior. Doing this makes you part of the problem. Whether you know it or not, it does. It makes you part of the problem. So, for example, if somebody verbally lashes out, God forbid they do it physically, but somebody verbally lashes out at you and you know, you're embarrassed. You're looking around like, okay. And you tell people, oh, you know what? They're normally not like that. They're just having a bad day. They lost their job. They're just frustrated. They're this, they're that, they're the other. Honey, they can be a whole list of things, but that never, ever, ever gives you a reason to lash out at me. Don't do it. Don't do it, because I'm going to make your day even worse than what it already is. So please don't do it. Here's my thing. Sometimes I have moments as well, but I don't lash out at other people. Why? Because I understand that they're not the reason for why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. They're not the cause of why I'm going through what I'm going through. So why am I going to lash out at them? They have no idea what's going on in my life. So I don't need to take it out on them, but people do it all the time. Like I said, don't come for me unless I send for you. Y'all know my rule, because I promise you it's not going to be nice at all. I have you all get to see this nice, quiet, reserved Michelle, but there is another part of Michelle that I don't like to bring out, because once I unleash that thing, that part of me, it's hard to put it back. So I try my best not to allow anything or anybody to take me there, but you will if you lash out at me. And I was thinking as I was preparing my notes, this year alone, I have lost count of how many times I had to say to somebody, why did you let that person talk to you that way? Or why do you let that person treat you that way? And they've said, oh, Michelle, you know, I don't pay them any mind, honey. They have issues. You know, they're unhappy. The list can go on, but my whole thing is, okay, all of that's fine and great, but why did you allow them to talk to you that way? Whatever's going on in their life has nothing to do with you. So they have no right to talk to you in the way they did. But, you know, People can handle things the way they want to. All I'm saying, for me and mine, we're not having that one. Don't do it. Number 2, because that's a sore spot with me. Let me move on. Number 2, stop accepting your fate in life. You have the power to change your life at any time. Things can and will get better. Too often, we get to a place where things are happening and we just sit back with our arms folded. We're rocking back and forth. Well, I guess that's just the way it is. I guess that's just the way God wants it. God doesn't want to see you down and out. God doesn't want to see you sad and hurt and just beat down. He doesn't want to see you lose everything. Come on now. You know better than that. So if you're going through a spell where you've lost everything, okay, you've lost everything. But guess what? This is your opportunity to rebuild. Take a look at your life. Were you overextending your finances and or your time on things that you could not truly afford? So now you know that you've got to start all over again, and maybe you can't afford that big $500,000-$600,000 home. If you know you can't, why are you living in it? To impress other people? They don't care because you paying the mortgage, not them. If you're living in that apartment where you're paying $2,000-$3,000 a month, Lord, I'm clutching the pearls that I'm not even wearing. But if that's your thing and you know you can't afford that, why are you living there? Just so you can brag and say, oh, I live in this upscale apartment. Okay, that's great. But you can't afford it and you're struggling to hold on to that. Or you're driving this car that you know daggone well you can't afford. Why? Because you want people to think that you have. I'm going to tell you something that Bishop T.D. Jakes said yesterday. I was looking at this video clip and he said, you know, the rich people that he knows, they're not out here wearing all this expensive stuff. I'm not saying they don't have expensive things, but they don't wear that all the time. They're wearing jeans from Target, tennis shoes from Walmart, and they dress down. He said, but the people that don't have, they're the ones that will spend their last dime buying something Coach or Fendi so they can show off for people that probably don't give a daggone about them anyway. All I'm saying is live within your means. Stop accepting your fate. You can change your life. Okay, so maybe your relationships haven't worked out. Well, you can fix that. Start looking at you. See, the thing is we like to point fingers at other people, but I need you to look at you and say, okay, how was I in each of my last relationships? What can I change about me? So stop accepting that, okay, God just doesn't want me to have anybody. Yes, he does, but you need to fix your funky attitude so that somebody will want to deal with you. Let me move on. Number 3, stop saying yes to things you don't really want to do. If you don't really want to do something, say no and leave it at that. I'm going to tell you something. I used to be that person that if the work needed to get done, regardless of where it was, home, church, work, whatever, and nobody else wanted to do it, I would raise my hand. I'll do it. And it wasn't always that I wanted to do it. I just did that because it needed to get done. And as a leader, sometimes you do have to step up, I'll say that, and get things done even when you don't want to. But the older I get, I'm coming to realize that, you know what, I'm not going to keep jumping to do things just because nobody else wants to do it. If nobody want to do it, I guess it won't get done. But it doesn't have to be me. If my heart is not in something, that's just like, case in point. If you called me up and said, hey, Michelle, I want you to come speak to my group about practicing bondage in S&M. Well, my heart's not into that. That's not my thing. First of all, I don't know much about it. But even if I did, I'm not going to come and talk to your group about it. You know why? Because my heart's not in that. And if you say come and motivate my group, I'm there. But other than that, no, I'm not going to do it just because, you know, and you say, hey, I'm going to pay you 10 grand. And some folks may say, oh, girl, I'm going. Shoot, they paying 10 grand? Oh, yeah, I'll do it. No, because my heart's not into that. So, yeah, I could come and take the money, but that's just not where my heart is. It's not where I have an interest. So I'm not going to come and just take your money. You need to get somebody that's really into that can really benefit your audience. I would not be the best person for that. All I'm saying is stop saying yes to things that you know that you really don't want to do. If somebody says, hey, I want to sell you this car. Yeah, you need transportation, but don't just settle for less than you deserve. Okay, maybe you don't have a lot of money to put down, but don't just settle for that Honda Civic. And there's nothing wrong with Honda Civics, but this is a 1980 Honda Civic, and here it is 2022, just so you can say you got a car that may break down 3 months from now. Learn to say no and be all right with it. That's the key. So we can all say no, but I need you to learn to say no and be okay with it. Number 4, know your worth. You have to know your worth if you want others to treat you with respect. People disrespect you because they see that you don't know your worth, so they're not going to value it either. And that's why they treat you and talk to you any way they feel like it, because they already see that you don't even know your worth. You don't value yourself, so why should they value you? Number 5, set boundaries that nobody can cross. And when I say nobody, that means your family, your friends, your neighbors, your children, and maybe even your enemies. Set boundaries and be firm with them. If you know your cutoff time for talking on the phone is 8 o'clock at night and somebody calls you at 8:15, then you have one or two choices. You can pick up that phone and hope and pray that they make it quick, or you can not answer because they already know your boundaries. Hey, I go to bed at 8 o'clock, so don't call me. Or if people know that the holidays are spent with your family and somebody says, oh, girl, come on, we need to go out of town and da-da-da. No, you have boundaries. You cannot allow people to cross those boundaries because, again, they start to lose all respect for you. So set boundaries and don't let anybody cross them. Now, let me say this. Let me say this, because there may come a time or two where you will have to kind of waver just a little bit. But as a whole, you set those boundaries and you don't let anybody cross that line. I have boundaries with me. I have many boundaries, but I have boundaries in that I will not allow you to talk to me and treat me any kind of way. And that's a boundary that I set across the board. Cross it if you want to. Cross it if you want to. And I promise you it's not going to fare well for you. Let me move on. And last but not least, create a plan for your life. Create a plan for your self-care, your friends, your business, your relationship, etc. And when I say create a plan, there are 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself. And I want you to think about. Number 1, what is your why? Why do you want to do what it is that you want to do? Number 2, what do you want? What do you want to get out of whatever that thing is that you came up with? And number 3, why do you want it? Do you want it for you, or do you want it to please other people? You know, I can remember a time when folks were like, oh, girl, I got this wedding to go to. I need to drop some weight. And I used to think, okay, so you're dropping weight to be a part of this wedding because you want to look bad and fierce in your dress, or you want to look handsome in your tuxedo. But what happens after that? Do you just put the weight back on? And I tell people in a minute. Or the family reunion was coming up, so they got to drop a few pounds. Come on, Michelle, I need you to help me lose X number of pounds because I got a family reunion coming up, class reunion, or whatever it is. And I say, okay, so after that event is over, then what do? Do you go back to your bad eating habits? You're not working out? Because right now you're working out because you want to please other people. You want other people to go, oh, look at you, girl, you lost weight. You're not doing it for you and your own health. I need you to do it for you. Stop trying to please other people, because at the end of the day, you really can't. And not only that, there's so many people that don't give a daggone about you one way or the other. So you're trying to please people that don't even care what you think or care about you at all. Whatever you're going to do it for you. So those are the 3 things that I need you to ask yourself. What your why is, what is it that you want specifically, and why do you want it? And hopefully you want it for you and not to please other people. So you guys, hopefully something that I said resonates with you and makes you stop and think. Are you settling for less than you deserve? Because so many people do it. Me, I just refuse to. I know my worth, and I'm not going to settle for anything less. So if you're in a relationship and you're not happy in that relationship, but you stay because you don't want to be the only one that's not in a relationship, honey, you have a fool for a client, because you need to go ahead and let that thing go. You deserve better than that. You deserve better than that individual that can't seem to stay faithful to you, but you're faithful to them. Why you hanging around? Just to say you have somebody? You better go and sit down somewhere. Anyway, I digress. If you're new to watch my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you for joining me. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. So glad to see you guys. I always miss you when I don't get to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and remember, as of today, we are no longer going to settle for less than what we deserve, because we deserve more. We are kings and queens of the Most High. So go after all that you deserve. Love you all, and we'll talk again on Monday.